Nurses, hey, Andrea Romer. I'm a bedside TLC nurse and I work with Nurses on Resilience as a life coach. And I'm coming to you to talk to you a little bit about visitors coming back to the bedside and what nurses are going through with that happening. And I just want to say thank you for being a nurse. And if you know me, you know that I love being a nurse and I love nurses. And welcome. So, as we are inviting visitors back to the bedside, it sounds like we all have thoughts and feelings about this, and we're labeling this as something new, a new thing we're going to do. And what I want to tell you right now is that this is actually a skill that you have already learned in life. You don't need to learn this in nursing school. You have the ability to have relationships, humanness, connection. You have it all on your plate already. And so this is not a new skill for you. And as you're welcoming yourself into your practice here, and we're welcoming you into your practice here, this is something that you can know is a skill that you already are an expert at. So let's reframe this as something that from being a human, you already know how to do. And that means that we can look at three components here that, as a nurse for quite some time at the bedside, knows this feels new to us again, too. This is a process to every nurse that feels like it's starting over again. And so let's just look at three components of this work. And the first one is knowing that visitors are coming back to the bedside. Awareness. This is the first piece. Awareness that visitors are coming back to the bedside, and the awareness that you already know how to have human relationships. You already know how to connect with people, and you have parents and siblings and partners and spouses and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and friends. And at some point, we've all been in this situation. And so you are already an expert at that component. Next is resilience, and we get to be resilient. We can use our soft skills to indent and then go back to a normal shape, and we don't always have to be a glass breaking and shards of glass going everywhere and cleaning this up. This is the work that we're doing. And so, as we're being resilient, we can understand when we have thoughts and questions that come up, and we want to just get those out of our head and write them down or talk to someone about them. And then we want to pay attention to our feelings. Now, this is a pretty big part of this work that's new. And I'll tell you, if you know me, I thought that compassion was the part of nursing that had been left out for me. And little did I know that compassion is in me all the time and it's available. And I have self compassion and compassion for others. And I didn't even have to learn it. And that's why I said you're already an expert. And had I learned this 15 or 20 years ago, I would have been so thankful. So this is my offering to you. What else I want to say about feelings is that you're going to have feelings that come up as you do every shift, and they're not always pleasant. We're going to have a mix of pleasant and unpleasant feelings. You might feel annoyed, rushed. You might feel fight or flight, nervous, obligated, uncertain in times with visitors coming back. Those are all times to pay attention. And when you're in fight or flight, or nervous, or feeling obligated, any of those is a time when our body will say, rush, 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 and get through this experience. And what I'm asking you to do is pause, 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 which takes practice. So you have the awareness piece, the ability to be an expert in relationships already and knowing how to connect from a place of humanness. Now you want to be able to pause, 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 and take a deep breath in the break room or take a deep breath in a different hallway. Just say, what is this feeling trying to tell me? And will this help me to show up the way that I would want to? And can I let it pass in 60 seconds and see how I feel then? And there's more work to be done there, but that's another video. And then Lastly is compassion. So this is the ARC method: awareness, resilience. The third component is compassion. The compassion is the core, like an apple. There's lots of layers around it, layers of feelings and thoughts and noise and drama. And once we peel back the layers, we have two things left: the core of compassion, which is self-compassion and compassion for others. And that's what's going to make any transition, especially the transition with visitors returning to the bedside, easier for everyone. So compassion is knowing that we are a shared humanity, that at some point now or in the future or in the past, we've all gone through the same thing, that we all share a human connection here. The best thing about self-compassion is that when you're taking a pause, and asking what this feeling is telling you, that you can say, I always do my best. Self-compassion is when you can be a friend to yourself. And once you're compassionate with yourself, you can say, how can I be compassionate with this family and not obligated or rushed or in fight or flight about questions they will ask or demands they will have? And that is by using compassion. And I only speak from a place of being there so many times and knowing that when I think, if that was me in the bed, how would I want my loved one to be treated? Or vice versa. If that was me at the bedside, how would I want my parent, my spouse, my child to be compassionately treated? And I would want to think that that nurse was having self-compassion for themselves first. Because first and foremost, we're all human. We always try to do our best. I know that about myself and all of you. So that's the three components. This is a short video for just visitors coming back to the bedside: ARC, awareness, resilience, compassion. Now,